All right, welcome back to Fleck and Sucks, the podcast, episode 189. Today on the show, Kamala Harris and co. are calling Republicans weird. We're going to go over who the real freaks are. Then, are illegals planning on voting in the upcoming election? We got a few of them on camera who say they are. Then, in Cringe of the Week, we have a woman boxer who refused to fight a man at the Olympics, as well as some other trans horrors. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, this woman claims her Airbnb is racist. Wait until you see why. All this and more, it's Fleck and Sucks, a podcast, episode 189, ranked the best new podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleck and Sucks, the podcast featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, have you heard the flavored air category is quickly becoming a leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a movement towards better habits led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is perfect for when you're out and tempted to do one of your bad habits. Maybe you want to bum a bad habit off of a friend outside. We've all been there. But what if I told you there's a better alternative that can help you kick your bad habit, that's enjoyable, and you can take it with you? That's Fume. Fume draws flavor to your mouth. It's not nicotine or addictive. It's not a vapor, so you can do it anywhere, and it requires no batteries. My favorite flavor is crisp mint. It's very refreshing. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be their next success story. Break your bad habits today. For a limited time, use my code FLECKUS to get a free gift when you order the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com, that's TRYFUM.com today and use code FLECKUS for that free gift when you order. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring.
Thank you, Fume.
It's always good to get rid of your bad habits, guys.
Absolutely.
Fume helps. All right, guys, is it Friday?
Yes.
It is. Friday episode. It's a packed one, lots of politics, good cringe, urban, uplifting.
That's all the categories.
You know how it goes. Yeah. We do have a large housekeeping. First things first, maybe kind of a more serious thing to start the episode with.
Somber.
Roberto Lolli Linguinato, the man who invented tiramisu, has passed away at the age of 81.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, sir. It's been a pleasure serving you.
No, thank you for your service. He invented it, died at 81, so that means he probably invented it early 20s or something. I thought the tiramisu was a more ancient dessert, so that was news to me.
What a life.
Yeah, and it's a dessert you kind of don't really like as a kid. For me personally, but then you age out and you start to respect it.
It's like cheesecake.
Oh, I always liked that. So.
Well, as a kid, I used to think cheesecake, and I would be like, I don't like cheese like that. But then you get older and realize it's not really cheese like that.
Yeah, me personally, I didn't ask questions. I just slurped it up.
You just slurped. Yeah. All right, we have some funny things to get to before our politics section. Now that we're coming to the election, every episode's a politics episode.
Yeah, housekeeping's going to be a lot of day-to-day.
Yes. You know? But first things first, Maduro, the new presidential winner in Venezuela, challenges Elon Musk to a fight on national television, and Elon Musk said, "I accept."
Yeah.
That's pretty good action.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's world leaders challenging to fight just some rich Batman type guy, and
it's good. It's a good action.
Yeah,
it's good. I'm not gonna let you say that's not good action.
Well, but it's
an incredible timeline.
It's idiocracy. We're trending towards idiocracy. Kamala's doing fake urban voices to attract the youth. Maduro's trying to fight a guy. The cracks are showing. It's a very dumb society now.
It is a very dumb society now, but that would be lit.
Okay.
That would be lit to watch. All right, and then we actually have Maduro talking about it. Listen to what he says.
Elon Musk, quien se mete conmigo, se seca. Quien se mete con Venezuela, se seca. Elon Musk. ¿Quieres pelea? Vamos a darle, Elon Musk. Estoy listo.
All right. I kind of like that.
Whoever messes with me dries up. That's a fascinating Venezuelan turn of phrase.
I wouldn't want to be dried up.
I know, it sounds horrible. But anyway, yeah, idiocracy type shit. I don't know.
And then we had Joe Biden coming out on Twitter, or whoever typed the tweet, Can you read the last paragraph's the most important?
Yeah, so it's about the election in Venezuela, and he said, we agreed on the need for an immediate release of full, transparent, and detailed voting data at the polling station level by the Venezuelan electoral authorities, and we pledged to remain in close coordination on the issue.
Yeah. It's very important to have election transparency from Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden's supervising a different country. I'm sure that'll turn out right.
Yeah, we could have used some of that election transparency ourselves. Speaking of transparency, obviously it's been a couple weeks since Trump was attempted assassinated.
Yep.
I found this montage of some Nikki Haley clips that make me think she was in on it or at least knew the plan. Remember when she was sticking in the race and no one knew why?
Yeah.
Listen to this now, knowing what we know.
Donald Trump is the nominee of the Republican Party, we will have a President Kamala Harris. That's just a fact. And the party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is the party that will win. There will be a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. There's no way that Donald Trump is going to win this election. You're going to have a female president of the United States. It's either going to be me or it's going to be Kamala Harris. Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee. I would make any bets about that. The party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is the party that's going to win.
Who do you think will be the Democratic nominee?
Well, I've said there's going to be a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. And if Donald Trump is the nominee, mark my words.
She kind of sounds tuned in.
Yeah.
A little too tuned in is your assertion.
A little too tuned in.
Yeah.
I guarantee Trump is not going to be, or Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee.
Get rid of their 80-year-old nominee? I don't know how you get rid of them.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're in our politics section.
Okay. That was all pretty political anyway.
Speaking of Kamala, remember how we were saying that she's a DEI president?
Yeah, of course. And it's on the White House website that he was going to choose a black woman. There were media pressure, media articles we've shown. She is a DEI vice president.
Literally is. And we've been calling it out. And then the media was saying, like, the Republicans are racist for calling her a DEI president. Now they're embracing it. Can you read that headline?
Opinion from HuffPost Politics. Kamala Harris would be a DEI president, and that's a good thing for America.
Yeah, which is part of the cycle. It's not happening. It's a right-wing conspiracy theory. It might be happening. It's happening, and it's good.
And they literally said that's a good thing for America. So textbook on the chart.
Textbook PR cycle on the chart. Very funny. And then Kamala's really leaning into being black now, even though her whole life she's kind of been Indian.
Shied away from it, hasn't really embraced it, but now, like, something happened in 2020, right?
Yeah.
And now it's black power, right?
Yeah, so first we're going to show you a clip from a few years ago where she describes herself as South Asian. Can you play that clip?
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent.
So that's it.
Yeah.
If you had to, describe yourself and you have the choices of saying black or Indian, and you say I'm South Asian, I'm Indian, you're Indian.
Yeah. And that's the thing is a lot of people on the left are kind of making fun of, Republicans don't know what mixed race is, or like that's the funny thing. And it's like, no, it's about shape-shifting and doing whatever's popular at the given moment and not really having a true identity. And then also faking an accent and kind of getting rowdy with different crowds and switching your tone. That's all very transparent, and we don't have a problem with someone having two different races of parents, you know?
Yeah, we just have a problem when you pretend you don't have one and then start using it when it's beneficial to you. There's actually a meme that was pretty funny where Kamala says she's Indian and everyone goes, wow!
Yeah.
And then Trump goes, she's Indian, and everyone gets mad.
You can't say that.
So Trump did call it out, and now Kamala has been kind of tone
switching?
Switching. She gave a speech the other day, and she was addressing the people who were attending the Megan Thee Stallion concert.
Yeah, the twerking Megan Thee Stallion concert that they hijacked.
Yeah, so they had a Megan Thee Stallion concert, and then like an hour later, there was a Kamala speech, and everyone's pretending everyone was there to see Kamala. And listen to how she's talking to the mostly black audience.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
We're going to do it again in 2024.
2024. That was the first time she's ever said faux.
Yeah.
And she did the same thing. There's been numerous phone calls talking with like Tajari P. Henson or something. And she's like, girl, you know we out on these streets.
Yeah.
It's very, very awkward. And for Republicans to point that out is not at all weird. She's just a shapeshifter, is what I'm calling it, and a shapeshifter both on policy and personality and identity.
And it's very similar to what Hillary Clinton was doing when she was running back in the day. We had that iconic clip of Hillary Clinton shapeshifting as well.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
Yeah, so we all remember that one.
Yeah, it's classic.
That's the classic Democrat pander tone switch. And then also lately, now that Kamala is the candidate, she's been backtracking on all of her really radically progressive stuff that she openly was supporting years ago. She was the most radical Democrat in the Senate. And now she's reversed her stance on banning fracking, mandatory buybacks on assault weapons, ending private health insurance, decriminalizing illegal border crossings, bailing out rioters, defunding the police, jailing marijuana offenders.
All the good stuff, you know?
We have the receipts.
It's time to win a general election, and all those opinions will be discarded, and as well as her accent after the votes are in. You'll never hear that 2020 foe again after the votes are in.
And then we actually have her on video talking about how she got taxpayers to fund a sex change for a trans person in jail.
When I was Attorney General, I learned that the California Department of Corrections, which was a client of mine, I didn't get to choose my clients.
Right, a client of the Attorney General.
A client of the Attorney General, right. Of the Office of Attorney General, that they were standing in the way of surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. And there was a specific case. And when I learned about the case, I worked behind the scenes to not only make sure that that transgender woman got the services she was deserving. So it wasn't only about that case. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California.
Oh.
So every time we've talked about a trans surgery that's taxpayer funded in the California prison system, she just took credit for it.
Yeah.
So she is
that
the
was
one
all
who did
her.
It. Yeah. Thank you, Kamala, for tying yourself to that horribly unpopular opinion. Right?
Yeah. Very moderate of you. Taxpayer funded criminal sex changes.
Yeah. That should win you Ohio. Yeah. That should win you all the bellwether counties.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like we said, there was a Megan Thee Stallion concert featuring Kamala Harris an hour later. So whoever stayed.
Yeah.
Here's what she was saying at the event.
Donald Trump does not care about border security. He only cares about himself. And when I am president, I will work to actually solve the problem.
Yeah. The border problem? So you're already the vice president.
Yeah, your administration is horrible.
Don't elect Trump because he only cares about himself. Elect me, and then we'll fix the problem. You're in the administration already. You're in charge of the border. You're the vice president. You've been there for 4 years, and it got completely out of hand under your watch.
You're actually the border czar. And then the last clip we were talking about was her in office getting something done. Transgender prisoner surgeries. But now she's in office, vice president, but she'll fix the border once she's president. You got to promote her first. It's like one of those, I'll solve the problem at work once you promote me.
Yeah. So
you gotta pay me more.
That is actually interesting because this might sound crazy. I don't think the people at the Megan Thee Stallion concert even know she's the vice president. It's up there as a high potential.
It's up for debate, right?
These aren't the people who go to the Megan Thee Stallion concert aren't the highest IQ individuals who are concerned about policy and familiar with the checks and balances and who's in the executive branch.
Yeah, you know? the three branches of government. They don't even know that. They go, oh, Megan Thee Stallion? I know that song on TikTok. It's free?
Black lady president. Gotta do that.
Let's go.
So actually we have a Justin Awad clip, friend in real life, friend on the show. He did some interviews. These are the types of people that go to the Megan Thee Stallion concert.
You know what country Joe Biden was originally from? Like, where was he born?
In the White House? I don't know.
Like a country. You gotta think of the countries like a map.
Columbus?
Yeah. Do you know what 11% of 100 is?
Absolutely. Wait, 11% of 100.
Like around what? I know it's like mental math is hard.
10% of 100 is 10, right?
Yeah,
Morgan,
I know, but I need 11%.
Okay,
like around.
I'm gonna say 11% is like I actually literally don't know. I'm going to say like 15, maybe.
Do you know what?
That's 3 of them right there.
And no one was jumping in with the easy answer. Yeah. So that's who they're appealing to. And then the right sees the big reception at the Megan Thee Stallion concert.
Yeah.
And then sees that it's like culturally significant, even though it's kind of lied about. And then we get like nervous. We're like, oh, we're not doing enough outreach. We need to convince our retarded people too. We need to get people who don't know what continent they're on to go, vote for Trump.
Yeah, or we need to compete for those same kind of brain dead people, right?
Yeah.
Which is a trap.
Which is a trap because those people are never going to vote Republican. They've already been brainwashed into thinking everyone is racist.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you try to appeal to them, you slide left and try to lean left and act more moderate, and then you actually lose your firmest supporters on the further right, like the Project 2025 people.
Mm-hmm.
We have to disavow that. And you have to disavow that because Jon Stewart's going to go on TV and lie about it and call it racist, and then people are going to see that on TikTok.
Yeah, and then you do get rid of it, and then Jon Stewart moves on, and he goes, okay, next thing down the list. I'll lie about that, call that racist, and then post that on TikTok.
Exactly. So no matter what, Jon Stewart's going to be lying and calling things racist for Republicans on TikTok.
You could have a placeholder blank, like unlock a character video game screen, and then Jon Stewart will be like, as soon as it unlocks, I'm calling him racist.
Yeah.
It's not, we have to kind of stand by what we do because you can't play ball for what the media is going to say.
Yeah. Exactly. So Jon Stewart's going to be the puppet no matter what. The Daily Show is always going to be that. We don't need to disavow things because they're going to get misrepresented by the left's talking heads.
We need to be talking to our audience about issues that affect them and, targeting people who are going to be our base, white men, people who work, people with families, suburban women, stuff like that.
Exactly. And then keep in mind, too, the Democrats have always had the celebrities. They've always had the Taylor Swifts and Beyoncés and Jay-Z's.
Yeah.
And they have a brain dead bunch that's going to go vote Democrat if they vote. And that's always been the case. But then when we see it, we get discouraged because we go, oh, man, we don't have any Taylor Swifts. We're going to lose the election. We got to start acting like normal, very far right people. And then you actually lose your base with that.
Yeah.
Krasenstein had a good botch job on a before and after on Twitter.
Yeah.
He was making fun of Trump back in the day, and he said the popularity of a politician cannot be proven by a bunch of people at a rally.
That's when Joe Biden was getting 7 people, and Trump was packing arenas and, stadiums.
Yeah. And then now Krasenstein says, wow, massive crowds. Vice President Kamala Harris is holding a rally in Atlanta, over 15,000 people. So all of a sudden rallies mean good. Audience attendance is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I like just, Krasenstein. Of course, he's going to go against himself. He's going to say one thing one week, and that's that was a less than a week apart. So
yeah. Yeah, and then Kamala's campaign's new plan is to act like we're in high school and call Republicans weird.
Some of what he and his running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are. As weird and creepy as JD Vance.
Super weird idea from JD Vance.
Yeah, it's not. It's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird, and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate, they're weird. Deeply and profoundly weird.
They are weird. These Republicans just being weird, it's just weird. It's really weird.
Republican weirdness goes even deeper.
He said a lot of things that are weird, a weird style that he brings. Weird.
You call him weird. Pete Buttigieg. A guy who fucks guys in the ass. He has sex with dudes. He has sex with guys.
JD Vance is weird, though.
We're weird. But Pete Buttigieg has sex with men.
But it's fascinating, though, because also, weird is a new tactic, and you're calling people weird, but racist or, dictator or whatever, did that not work? We moved on from that? Because that's a lot worse than weird.
Isn't that interesting? We were called Nazi, dictators, fascist, overthrowing democracy, and I guess that's not the case anymore, and weird is the best way to attack. Yeah. I think if you're running against a Nazi dictator,
you probably want to tell people that,
it should be good, right? Yeah. It's an easy one. And then the Democrats' Twitter, Trump idolizes Hannibal Lecter. JD Vance is on a crusade against women who own cats. MAGA Republicans can't stop talking about DEI. These guys are weird.
So the memo went out. Weird is the new talking point, and I don't get it. I don't I can't imagine it's that effective, having Pete Buttigieg say something's weird and then he goes home to push his twin acquired babies on a swing set with his gay buddy. You know? I don't get it.
Exactly. And then obviously in the background, we have here just some of the weird B-roll, some of the people that are involved with the Democrat Party that are calling us weird.
You know, the cross-dressers, the freaks, the twinks, the thieves,
the
criminals.
That's who calls us weird.
Yeah.
And then there was a tweet that kind of summed this up pretty well.
Yeah, the North Star for Harris messaging right now is to treat Trump and Vance like a guy they didn't want to date in their sophomore English class. Weird, creepy incel, just ad infinitum, no plan, no strategy.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. Did they test this? Is this like a group thing that they start testing? And
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like make it like high school politics. Like it's all going to boil down to like the cool kids versus the nerds and the jocks and the theater kids. I don't know. I feel like we're pretty cool in high school and you guys weren't. So if you want to go down this road, we can viciously make fun of you.
I guess we can stuff you in a locker. No, I'm kidding. But I guess if you say weird, you never actually have to like debate policy details or something. You can just kind of go on CNN and then you don't have to say like what's right or wrong. You just go, that's weird. I didn't like that.
It's so interesting, too, because all the people who say weird, like Pete Buttigieg and Swalwell.
Yeah. Swalwell, Chinese spy guy.
George Takei. Is that his name? George Takei?
Yeah. Whatever. You can disrespect him. You don't have to pronounce it correctly.
I don't even care.
He's that old gay Asian guy who like keeps bringing up Japanese internment camps from 1940s.
Yeah. So he goes, Trump and Vance are just too weird for America. And then there's him like putting his arm up a guy's butt on the Howard Stern show.
Yep. Doing gay shit.
Weird.
Gay pervert guy is calling Trump and Vance weird.
So that's nice. I actually like it, and it makes a lot of sense. People are putting on Twitter that, can you read this JD Vance thing?
This was from a bartender, just like a hipster doofus bartender who says, JD Vance has the face and general presence that anyone with a bartending background can immediately clock as a guy to keep an eye on the minute he walks in.
What are you talking about?
It's the biggest projection I've ever seen in my life. It's like a lesbian short-haired bartender who's like, better keep an eye on that semi-husky Midwestern guy who's going to tip 30%.
And drink like 8 Miller Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do have some advice for JD to be maybe cooler so he's not as weird. Mm-hmm. Maybe grow a mustache out.
See, I get it.
Good.
I get the meme, but it's dangerous to tell people who have a jowls area to uncover that. I'd say, JD, point. Don't change anything. Stick with it. Ride out the weird.
Smart.
You can't, even you. I wouldn't.
I haven't seen my neck in
That's what I'm saying.
6 years.
We don't even know what's under there.
It might be bad.
Could be like a small hand or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But, you know,
rolls.
No changes.
It's fine. It's fine. It feels fine.
JD, if you can feel around and you look like this, then go ahead for the stash. Otherwise, keep it real.
Yeah, so they call us weird, and they actually had an event the other day, Women for Kamala, and here was one of the opening speakers.
Good evening, folks. My name is Charlotte Clymer. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a writer and activist, and I am so excited to be part of this historic gathering of women across the country.
Historic gathering of women across the country.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You don't even have to do a bit after this. The bit is the visual thing you just saw. There's nothing to say. White dudes for Kamala was last week, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Shape up.
And we do have a clip from that, a quick one. Josh Gad, which is weird because it's white dudes for Kamala, but Josh Gad's Jewish.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's in that. But here's what he said about when Trump was elected.
But I also happen to be a father of 2 girls. I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. I stood over my kid's bed and I wept. I wept because I felt.
You tell about like people you go crying about Trump?
The dudes are crying about Trump. The men are also in the women's group. Kamala's talking 2024, but she's Indian when she needs to be. I don't know, man. I don't think we're weird. I'm not sure
weird at all.
No.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. I'm sure his wife likes seeing him weep above the children's bed.
Yeah, she got the ick from that, and then now he keeps telling people about how he wept.
Josh, it's good that you're sensitive, but I don't think I think everyone knows. You don't need to keep saying it.
Yeah, don't keep yapping about it.
And then JD Vance, like a week ago, made a comment about how like single cat ladies with no kids are kind of like taking America in a bad direction.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are now leaning into that, and here's some of people's response to that.
I'm a childless cat woman, but I'm happy. I'm happy.
bring laughter on, you know?
Say to Vance.
Yeah, what is your message to Vance?
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm telling you, I'm happy.
I swear I'm happy. So I think, like, you know how you make fun of the Democrats and then they lean into it? Like, oh, she's a DEI. And they go, yeah, well, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cat Ladies is a good one.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to the Taylor Swift concert and go, yeah, you guys are all cat ladies, right?
Yeah.
And then see who actually wants to be a cat lady.
See, I don't know. That's a good question. Do they get offended and empathize with a cat lady and be like, I didn't like that. That was mean. Now I need to vote and I wasn't gonna before. But, you know, swatting that bee's hive, I don't think any cat ladies were like, oh, I might vote for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, so.
People think that it's scary that we make fun of them and then they create a group around it and go vote against us now. But the cat ladies were always going to vote for the black woman president.
Exactly.
So I'm not worried about it. And I think we should tell young Democrat, potentially Democrat voting women, hey, you guys are cat ladies. Like, you want to be you're a cat lady, right? That's cool. And I think they might pretend, but deep down,
that scares them.
No one wants to be a cat lady.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to our migrant section. That wraps up all the Kamala stuff. It was good action.
Yeah.
We're going to start off the migrant section with some shitting Indians.
Yeah, this was in Brampton. Man couldn't walk the extra 15 yards to use the bathroom. Mass immigration is totally working, and he
just dumps. He blows dump on the ground.
He blows dump right there. There's no that's the thing. It's just right there. What, your door covers you? I don't get it. There's no around the corner. There's no
behind the dumpster.
Exactly. It's just right here, right now. As soon as I step out of the car.
In a trash bag into the trash can, and it's like, not the best.
So they're not even thinking of how to best do it. They're doing it, which is already wrong, and then not even optimizing it. So that's where it's like an extra twist of the knife, right?
Yeah, it is. And then there's another one, and then people were saying that was Photoshopped.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is Photoshopped, racist Islamophobes or whatever, or people who are against immigrants. But then it was just real. It was a video.
Yeah, and then look at the reflection. This is like Steven Spielberg A-Team shit, like his reflection on the hood of the car and stuff, the turban.
Not a Photoshop.
Yeah, and if it was a Photoshop, some guy spent 18 hours Photoshopping this. Just to what? Sabotage an Indian guy?
Pleasure serving with you too, brother.
Thank you for your service.
Right on, brother. And then we have another guy who's shitting in someone's lawn in Canada. There he is.
This is in Niagara Falls.
That's what they do. They just squat down, and they don't even wipe their butt.
Yeah,
they
watch
just pull their pants up and go, all right.
He looks at it. He goes,
I'm here to deliver your food now.
That was good. I liked it.
That's good.
So, and, I think we covered it last week. The city folks caused all the beaches to shut down, all the lakes. Yeah. City folks.
City men. And then there was a few days ago, there was a stabbing at a Taylor Swift dance competition event in the UK, and some illegal immigrants, some Muslim migrants.
No, it was a Rwandan guy who was like 17, and he was born there. His parents brought him to the UK, and I think he was born there, but is kind of like a social misfit, never really assimilated probably to the culture.
Doesn't sound like it.
And he went on a stabbing spree where 3 young girls were killed.
Yeah, so there's a lot of protests for that. Here's a clip from one of the protests. So people were rightfully upset, and someone made a good point on Twitter. They said whenever the migrants protest in the UK or in Europe, the police always stand down and let them do whatever they want. But then whenever civilians, like actual citizens, protest in the UK or in Europe, the batons come out, the riot gear's out, the riot shields, and they really snuff it out quick. So it's weird to see who they prioritize. This isn't a joke, but this next clip, the guy on the right, he gets hit in the head with a brick and then comes back a few feet and then gets hit in the nuts with a brick. Hit in the head with the brick. Oh, mate, that wasn't good. Are you okay, mate? Oh! So, not funny, but I did need to point that out.
No, and I mean, it's good to see some actual men fighting. You know, you can't really allow constant, endless immigration with people who don't want to assimilate and let your daughters get killed at what's supposed to be a fun event. And I say your daughters because all those 3 girls could be anyone's kid,
Yeah.
And taking ownership in that is part of what makes like a country, a citizenry good. You see yourself in someone else. You see your daughter. You see someone who you need to defend. And England is a little bit behind. They haven't been fighting that hard, as far as I can tell, for some really heinous crimes. And I think we're going to show some Irish stuff later.
Yep.
The Irish are kind of leading the way, but it's good to see England waking up. Again, it's one of those issues where politicians totally breached the social contract. No one voted for this. And you need to get your voice heard somehow. And I hear riots and fighting cops is kind of how that's done these days. I'm not sure. I don't know.
And then this is done, the mass migration is done to destabilize the West, but it's under the guise of empathy. We need to be compassionate. These people want a better life, and like you have to like feel bad and have like a woman's point of view or an emotional based point of view. And this lady at a protest, people protesting the people that did this, the guy who did the stabbing.
Yeah.
And this is what she does at the protest.
What does it say? What does the banner say? What does it say?
One race, human, hope, not hate.
Racism, you stupid cunt.
So another empathetic cat lady.
Yeah.
Trying to ruin the West, but she's a good person.
Well, hope not hate. You have to do a slogan for a very tangible, real policy issue that just caused the death of 3 people, right? And many other deaths and beatings and horrible outcomes and rapes, It's kind of this weird thing where the kids getting stabbed is kind of, and dying is the ultimate worst thing ever. But there's so many notches on that ladder that happened before that. And so, like, this is kind of the boiling point. But yeah, it's a perfect time to do your empty slogans, right?
Empty slogans. She's a good person. She's compassionate. And then you need to bring people from shithole countries here because they need to have a better life, as if like the island of the UK is going to be able to handle what? There's billions of people who are
in squalor
and desperately poor. So if you think you're helping, it's just a drop in the bucket, not going to do anything. But then you bring them all here, and then your nice country becomes like a shithole country, like where they came from. But I think deep down she thinks the UK and the West deserve it.
Yeah.
Because we're oppressive and whatever. Like you said before, the people in Ireland are starting to fight back. This is a community that had some illegal migrants in the woods behind their houses, and this is how they dealt with them.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? What are you doing here? Is that drugs there? Hold on a minute. What the fuck is that? You doing drugs here? Get the fuck. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Now. Out. Go. Up. Out. Out. Out.
So that's how you get them out.
Yeah.
They respond to deep voice yelling, hey, hey, hey.
Force. Otherwise, they'll step all over you. If you allow it to happen, then they'll continue to overstep, and your quality of life will get significantly worse. Exactly. And we've seen Irish people start burning the construction of migrant camps, real guerrilla warfare type shit, because when unelected bureaucrats start jamming your country with undesirables, what options left? What do you have left?
You can't vote it out because you already did that, and no one voted for it.
No one voted for it. No one voted for against it. Nobody ever gave you an opportunity. These weird parliament members have just decided to turn on the endless flow of migrants, right?
Yeah, so it gets ugly.
It's going to get ugly, and it's going to get worse, right?
And it's already here, too. This next story, a girl in Virginia, I believe, was killed by an illegal immigrant. Can you read it?
Yeah, in a statement to Fox News, ICE confirms that the suspect arrested for the fatal carjacking of a grandmother in Virginia on Sunday is an illegal alien from El Salvador who entered the U.S. as a gotaway at a known time and location. ICE has placed a detainer request on him with local authorities. According to the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, 21-year-old Jose Aguilar Martinez carjacked 54-year-old Melody Waldecker in Sterling, Virginia on Sunday, then ran her over with her own vehicle, killing her. So,
and that's in Virginia. And remember, a few weeks ago, Jen Psaki and some other ladies were making fun of Virginians for caring about illegal immigration as like a top priority in the upcoming election.
I mean, if you look at some of these exit polls, I mean, I live in Virginia. Immigration was the #1 issue. I mean, again, these could change in Virginia.
Well, Virginia does have a border with West Virginia. Very, very contested.
Yeah, they all laugh. It's
laugh.
so funny. It's stupid.
They do bits, and then Grandma gets run over by a car.
By Jose Aguilar.
Yeah.
From Venezuela.
Who got away from the Border Patrol. Because why? Was Kamala in charge of that? But she'll fix it when she's president, right?
That's why you got to vote for her.
Yeah.
And then our final clip from our migrant section of Housekeeping is this illegal immigrant saying that she's registered to vote.
We come from a company that is dedicated to registering Hispanic people so they can vote in upcoming elections. Are you already registered? We already voted. You already voted? Yes. Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered or?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered at work? Yes, we have. You've already been registered? Are you a citizen or not a citizen?
No es.
The apartment complex Elliott Norcross in Norcross, Georgia, is occupied primarily by non-citizens. We visited the complex to ask residents 2 questions. Are you a citizen, and are you registered to vote? Shockingly, 14% of respondents admitted to being non-citizens registered to vote.
Wow.
That's a pretty substantial percent.
That's a big percent, and it's in Georgia.
And you extrapolate that to, say, 20 million illegals and be conservative and say, nah, it's 10%. And then in a swing state where elections are won or lost by 30, 40, 50,000 votes.
That's called their plan.
Yeah, it's called their plan, and it's going to be ugly. And if Nikki Haley's plan was part of it, it would be a woman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just ugly. And all these migrant stories from England, from Ireland, anywhere in Europe, France, the U.S., it's all the same thing. It's all unelected people with some nefarious plan. And these people are driving wages down, driving home prices up, and none of it helps you. None of it helps us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It helps maybe cheap Fortune 500 labor, maybe in some industries.
And that's like a little, you
Yeah.
know. We like you don't need 50 million illegals like there are here now to do like picking crops and working in the food factories. There's not 50 million of those jobs.
Yeah, there's like 3 meatpacking plants in Iowa, and they're like, yeah, keep them coming. I want to pay them less.
It's like 1,000 people.
So.
Well, that is the end of our housekeeping. We're moving on to Cringe of the Week. Our first segment of Cringe of the Week is all Olympics and trans-based. There was a woman boxer who was going against, people are saying a trans boxer, but apparently the woman has, it's like
intersex and has XY chromosomes, which means you're a man.
And high testosterone.
And has already been banned from other international boxing events, but for some reason it was okay to do it in the Olympics, like the pinnacle of international events, right?
Mm-hmm. And then this girl, she stepped down after 45 seconds of the match because it was just such an uneven match.
The punches were heavy.
Yeah. And then can you read what she said?
She said, I wanted this victory at all costs, just for my father. Italian boxer Angela Carini emotionally discusses winning for her father, who recently passed away after securing a spot at the Paris Olympics. Carini ended her match after 46 seconds against male opponent Imain Khalif, who punched her with all his might in the face. Carini refused to compete. You won, Angela. Tu sei il campione. The victory is yours. Your father is proud, is what I guess somebody else said. But she quit, and there's the big guy.
And then the girl refused to shake the guy's hand or even look at him. It was kind of good. We can't show it because the Olympics cracks down on copyright stuff.
Yeah, the Olympics will get you.
They will.
But and this is like an Algerian person who like there's not a vibrant trans community in Algeria. But it's still some weird skirting the rules thing where nobody's out there protecting the actual women, you know?
Exactly.
So it's just another one of those uncomfortable situations that, I don't know, slip through the cracks again, right?
What do we do? Better err on the side of let the trans person do whatever they want.
Yeah, flip a coin, let the guy beat up the girl.
Yeah.
Are there no adults around? And this is the Olympics we're talking about, so...
But actually, there were some rules enforced at the Olympics. This announcer got fired because he said women take a long time to get ready.
Well, the women just finishing off. You know what women are like, hanging around, doing the makeup.
Outrageous.
That's it. So he made a little joke. Oh, you know what women are like? Take a long time to get ready and doing their makeup.
And that's a guy who
you're fired.
That's a guy who's been like announcing the Olympics since 1980 or something, some insane amount of tenure. And it's just, you know, all this Olympics coverage goes on for like hours and hours when you're waiting in between stuff. And then, you know, one little comment that women, do women take longer to get ready? And it's like there's empirical data on that. Like, if you do a study, average time taken to get ready to go out at night. Like men, like obviously it's true. It's not based on nothing. He's not like shit talking.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But you got to protect women.
Yeah, you got to protect women's feelings, but not their faces, right?
Yeah. So let the guy beat up the girl. That's normal. But if someone makes a comment about how women tend to be in general, you're fired, veteran announcer.
Yep.
And then there was another person who was affected by trans people at the Olympics. This girl, I think, was on the rugby team.
Yeah, Team USA Rugby. She's like a famous rugby player for America.
And listen to what people have been saying about her.
To be very real here for a second, as you can probably tell, I've been crying a little bit. I always get these comments, but like recently it kind of ramped up. I get comments being called a man and being called masculine and asking if I'm on steroids. There will always be negative people out there, and they put women in a box, and they think of women should be fragile and petite and quiet and meek, but that's not the case. Women can be strong, and they can have broad shoulders, and they can take up space, and they can be big. I think I'm getting emotional.
Sad.
Yeah.
Trans people did this to you.
It's at least some percent, right?
Yeah, like trans women ruined it for tomboy masculine girls.
I know. It's crazy.
Or masculine appearing girls. Now everyone goes, oh, it's probably another trans person. But if there were no trans people competing, you'd go, oh, that chick's
that's
strong.
a beast.
That girl's a beast.
Yeah, that's a certain type of person.
But now you go, that girl was probably trans, like the other situations I've seen where a trans person is dominating a sport. So don't get mad at men. Get mad at trans men.
Yeah. Channel that rage.
Exactly. And then our next story is about trans, but it's not the Olympics. Female volleyball player 17 left paralyzed with brain damage by transgender opponent who cackled with delight after knocking her to the ground.
Yeah, and I think this is an older case, and we may have even played this on the show before, but the main update is that she's now paralyzed with brain damage.
Yeah.
So that's the result that we didn't know we had. We just saw the bad spike. Do you want to play the spike again?
We have the spike, yep.
Here it is. Big guy coming up. Ready to spike it. In your face.
In your face, girl.
Permanent damage, and I think there was something like she was trying to get a scholarship, which ended her dreams of getting a volleyball college scholarship and has made it difficult to walk without falling. So
sad.
That's what happens when you let absolute men into women's sports, right?
Yep. And then another situation of trans people ruining everything. Listen to this trans woman's experience when she was out at a bar.
I was like getting with him. I was obsessed with him. Like when I see a guy that I want, I'm like, I need him. He buys me a drink. We were like talking the whole night. Like he's obsessed with my body. Me and him are like, shooting the shit. He asked my Instagram. I'm so fucking slosh. So I just give it to him. I forget that I always say that I'm trans my Instagram because I'm loud and proud. I don't care. So he sees it. He like literally like walks away. Like obviously he's like young. And next thing I see, I look over and he's with these like two like 50-year-old women. Like I had to show these cougars, put them in their fucking place. So I literally go in between them. This is the two women right here. I go, you guys are 30 years apart at least. The lady's looking at me and she's like, this girl's nuts. She's walking away. I go, congrats on your 60th birthday, babe.
Sorry I couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it.
So it sounds like this man in a dress ruined a nice night for 3 normal people.
Yeah, this is like she's telling the story like I'm a girl and this is my POV and everyone was against me and I'm the center of attention. But then you zoom out and it's like a probably drunk man in a dress going around like, hey, no, you can't. You have to fuck me.
Why don't you want to hook up with me?
And you just ruined like 6 people's nights. So, hey.
And you play it off like you're a diva.
You're the boss.
You're the boss. But it's like a guy was probably drunk, found out you were trans. I don't know how he didn't not know already. And then
you were planning on tricking him.
And then immediately moved on and goes, nope, not interested in that.
Yeah.
And now, you go, girl. You told him.
Hilarious.
All right, our last clip of Cringe. We got to go kind of fast because we're running out of time. Our last clip of Cringe is a guy who was involved in a road rage incident.
Okay.
and then he knocks the girl's mirror off in a very gay way.
In a fit of gay rage.
In a fit of gay rage. He jumps like that. All right, you got her.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that was just funny. There's no real comments there, but that would get the girl the ick.
Yeah, yeah.
Similar to the Josh Gad thing.
Yeah. Avoid road rage, guys. Friendly reminder. Avoid road rage.
Yeah. There might be violent homosexuals who come smash your shit in.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to Urban Decay. Don't get too down or too depressed and get a little bit worse. First clip of Urban Decay is this Airbnb story. This woman, we can't play the audio because it's like a TikTok thing with TikTok music, but your Rap Boy's going to read what she said, or at least narrate what she's showing.
Yeah, it says Southern Airbnb core, and she's going to give a tour. Oh, there's cotton on the wall, and looks like there's a monkey. There's cotton on a chair. Cotton as a decoration on the plant, a deer head. There's some monkeys hanging around, like a tree.
And then she says the caption was Airbnb is racist as fuck or something.
Yeah.
So you see a monkey stuffed animal and cotton. And then I was just thinking, imagine looking at a monkey stuffed animal and going, that's making fun of me.
That's about me.
This Airbnb that's been renting for years is about me.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's just like so clear that the person visited Costa Rica or something and brought some stuffed animals back, and then they're in the heart of Georgia or cotton country. And that's still, those fields are still going with cotton.
And they've been renting the Airbnb for years, and they rented to you. Like, wouldn't it be racist if they were like, we don't want you. We don't want you smoking blunts, backwoods blunts in the Airbnb where you're not allowed to come in. We don't want you and your friends yelling loud at 4 a.m. in the Airbnb. They rented to you. They're not racist.
Yeah, if they were racist, they would just say no upon seeing your name, which I'm sure is some unique combination of letters that has never been combined before.
Apostrophia.
Yeah, I don't know, but decorations are offensive and racist. And then what does it all mean? Like, people hate you, but then you can rent from them, and it's just like a weird state of the fragile demographic.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
if you're looking for racism, you can find it everywhere.
Exactly. I could open the cabinet, find some saltine crackers, and go, "Oh my god!" Like I drop my phone, step away, crackers.
You can get an email from Popeyes.
Yeah,
that'll say, "Hey, chicken lover."
Yeah. What you call me?
And that
the
could
fuck
really
you
make
say to
you
me?
upset.
Yeah.
But do you like chicken or not?
I do.
You're on Popeye's email list.
You clearly signed up for the app. I know what you did.
You know?
Uh-huh.
All right, our next clip from Urban is this fat black woman goes to an Indian wedding and then just starts eating their food. She said, "Hey, cousin." Straight to the crab legs.
Straight to the buffet.
So maybe she was starving, to be fair.
I know.
She could be starving and needed food.
We don't know her situation. But yeah, the overweight black woman with tattoos in the yoga pants that are 2 sizes too small and flip-flops thought she could blend in at the Indian wedding.
Yeah, at the Indian wedding. And then she has her friend 3 feet behind her filming and probably laughing.
Causing a scene. And for some reason, I'm gonna go out on a limb. The friend is fatter.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the friend is fatter. And these people, she thinks like she's pulling one over on this group, or like, oh, see how easy. Well, look, at I got some tandoori chicken. But the Indian people would be like, did you guys see that? Mm-hmm. And then like that's how
they have some words for that.
Exactly. They laugh at you. They're laughing at you. So it's just a weird situation.
Not a bad time to do a fake sneeze attack.
If you're one of the actual wedding goers?
Yeah, if you're the wedding goer, you just put her at 3 o'clock and then you just go,
fake sneeze attack.
And you just fake sneeze, spit in her face. And then she goes, oh, and you go, oh, it's okay. It's good luck in my culture. It's good luck. It's good luck.
Unconventional warfare.
Yeah, this fake sneeze attack actually is that's a top response if you really are in a tough situation.
Yeah.
Because you can say, I sneezed, and you got what? And then the cops come, and you go, yeah, I sneezed, and then some got on her.
And she kept saying, I did it on purpose, and then you
gaslight.
gaslight.
And you gaslight, because then, like, you're going to be calm and rational. She's going to go, oh, I'm disrespectful to Linda.
Yeah.
No, they were going crazy. And you just go, I sneezed, I had my hand up, and I guess some got on her. And, like, that's not a lie.
Yeah.
Some got on her.
I guess.
So, fake sneeze attack is always in the arsenal if you guys need it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this clip, before we move on, I think the reason she's doing that is because she thinks we live in a white privilege culture.
Okay.
And this is like what white people do to other people. So she's like, it's her turn to act like a white person who just takes whatever they want. But like that would never happen. And if the roles were reversed, if that was a white guy going to a black wedding and then saying, oh yeah, I'm going to eat your food, like we would not hear the end of it. And that would never happen.
I always like to take a step back, zoom out, and it's like, this is like a 42-year-old overweight woman who's like, doesn't know, like maybe I shouldn't cause a scene at someone else's wedding. Mm-hmm. It's a stranger's wedding. You're 42. You still haven't, the part of your brain hasn't matured yet. And I don't think it's ever gonna.
Yeah.
So
it's not good. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Next story from Urban Decay, a new criminal record.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a record. I think we've reported 80 before, 80 plus, but this is out of Chicago. How does a man arrested 75 times since 2015 get arrested twice in one day while on electric monitoring for 2 robbery cases? Meet Sean Hill. And
it's bad when you're you have your mugshot and you're going like this.
Thumbs up, and then there's like 30 different mugshots,
You're familiar with the process.
It's unbelievable. And so, this is just a problem with the justice system. The main problem is that this guy gets a bunch of misdemeanors and none of them get upgraded to felonies for some reason, even though he's like constantly assaulting random people on the street. 54-year-old arrested by Chicago police 75 times since June 2015 and 12 times so far this year. Is described in Chicago Police Department paperwork as having significant untreated mental health issues and hands that have been mangled by frostbite. Many of his arrests involve allegations of randomly battering people, usually downtown, and theft.
Gotta get this guy back on the streets.
So yeah, there's this thing where it's untreated mental illness and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. It's like, nah, treat him. Somebody hold him down and treat him.
Keep him in a box.
Keep him locked up. Yeah.
Then otherwise everyone else has to deal with it. And then, it's just mental illness. And then, all right, so then now our neighborhood has mentally ill people running around.
Yeah. And so I just want to read a little bit more. Even though he was on electronic monitoring for 4 pending robbery charges and 2 felony counts of unlawful restraint, they released him from the district police station a few hours later. Within 90 minutes of walking out of the station, Hill got arrested in the Gold Coast again. That's right. A man on electronic monitoring for 6 felony counts got arrested twice in under 9 hours. So, like, this is just a guy who goes like, are they going to let me out? Are they going to let me out? Are they going to let me out? And they go, you're free to go. And he goes, and he walks and he starts swinging. It's like a video game. And he steals this.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's actually easy. I don't know why he would ever change, because it's like, oh, okay, I got to spend 2 hours. He doesn't get it. I got to spend 2 hours at the police station, and then I'll go steal again and punch again.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's just like there should be no person who is ever arrested 75 times.
Yeah.
It's like you go to a sandwich shop, you get a punch card. We need criminal punch cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got arrested twice? Unfortunately, I have to keep you to 2026 now.
Yeah.
While on electronic monitoring, so.
Memetic Sisyphus had a pretty interesting tweet that summed up this situation too. Can you give it a read? It's a little long, but it's worth it.
Yeah, we met Memetic Sisyphus this week. Are we going to talk about that at all?
We did, in Bonus Land.
Okay, we hung out with him. So, nice to meet you, buddy. We're friends in real life now. His tweet is, city liberals are not dumb. They have a worldview that is insane, but they're not dumb. They live shoulder to shoulder with the worst of the black community. They see gang violence, murders, sky-high rape, littering, and other environmental destruction. They see women being used as objects placed on corners for rent. They see the overdoses and childhood pregnancies, school shootings, failing education. They will tell you where the danger is in their cities to avoid it or stay alert. They see all of these patterns. It makes them feel terrible, so they spend the rest of their efforts projecting that pattern onto middle-class white families. The demonization of frat guys, the white school shooter myth, rape culture, homophobia, the real kind, even silly things like walkability of neighborhoods. It's all an attempt at easing their cognitive dissonance.
Exactly.
So yeah, they're city liberals, they're like streetwise and they know what areas to avoid and they know you can't go on this intersection at that time of day. But for some reason, there's no like lessons to be learned from that.
They don't like to take it one step further and go, who is doing all of this?
What's the problem?
What do they
right?
look like?
So, I mean, it's a weird thing where, and then the cope, they instead they'll say JD Vance is weird or take it out on some frat guy.
Yeah, frat guys are rapists. Meanwhile, there's like millions of illegals from rape cultures.
There will be a frat rape in like at the University of Wisconsin or something, and they go, "Oh my God, that's horrible! I'm donating to the GoFundMe," and then they can pull up the police blotter from the neighborhood, like a town over from them, and it'll be like 10 rapes in the last 6 months.
All illegal immigrants who are being released, and they'll go, "That's okay.
That didn't count."
Yeah, and then we also have some new crime stats out of Sacramento. Richard, can you read it? It compares some demographics.
Yeah, it's Asian versus Black because those are kind of two of the major Sacramento demographics. Sacramento has nearly twice as many Asian residents as Black residents. So one might expect Asians to rob Blacks more often than Blacks rob Asians, right? Absolute value, the numbers.
I know the answer to
But
this.
no, this is America. Blacks rob Asians 22 times more often than Asians rob Blacks.
Then 22 times, if you do in percentage, that's 2,200%.
Crazy numbers.
That's a big number.
Despite being significantly lower in absolute value population than the Asians.
Something's going on.
There's something going on, and that's an understatement.
All right, and we're moving on to our last piece of Urban Decay in California. Gavin Newsom, for some reason, has decided to start cracking down on homeless encampments. Can you read the original tweet and his response?
Yeah, and I think we covered this already, at least partially, but the original tweet is breaking. Governor Gavin Newsom has issued an executive order for the removal of homeless encampments in the state. And then Gavin goes, "No more excuses. We've provided the time. We've provided the funds. Now it's time for locals to do their job."
And here we have them in the background. We have it just playing in the background of the police just dragging some homeless person's shit out.
Yeah, finally, right?
But then Gavin Newsom says, "No more excuses." It's like, you guys have had this problem for like 15 years.
You were the one with the excuses. You got reelected.
And all
while
you had
this was happening.
Yeah, and all you had to do was do an executive order to get these people off the streets. And well, you're the one who was making excuses.
Exactly. And imagine being a business owner who like finally called it quits because people were stealing power from power lines and camping in tents outside your business. And you're like, I can't do this anymore. And then you sell your business. And then like a month and a half later, Gavin Newsom goes, "It's time. No more excuses."
What's going on here?
So like that's the thing. People have dealt with this. People stealing shit, the crime that comes with it, all of this homeless encampment problems, a park you can't use because there are needles everywhere. And then all it takes is Gavin Newsom deciding it's pretty close to an election now. Now I'm going to fix it. So again, it just seems like another one of those broken social contracts between the government and the citizenry that kind of like, I don't know, solved one day because Gavin Newsom goes, "You know what? I changed my mind.
That's enough."
And so the whole time, exactly. And so the whole time you could never do anything about it. You could endlessly complain to the most progressive city council you've ever seen. And they'd go, I know, we can't do anything.
And even when the police would come, they'd say, like, they'd have people there who are like, "You can't touch his stuff." And the cops go, "Oh, we can't take his stuff. We can't physically touch him. We can't move his stuff. We can't spray him with the hose."
Turns out you could do that the whole time as long as Gavin Newsom signed his name on a piece of paper, right?
And now they're just like, "Oh, we're just dragging their shit out and throwing it in the back of a dumpster."
So it's interesting because it's progress, but it's retarded progress, Like it's progress brought about from the wrong way. It's like one of those inalienable rights that you have to not have homeless street rats right next to you, but then you had to wait for the king to write a decree.
And then Gavin Newsom gaslights you, goes, "That's enough.
I gave you
no
the
more
time."
excuses." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then again, this is like a big crux of our podcast is how easy it is to solve some of these problems overnight. And it's just the will of politicians to do it or not do it. And so if you're in Oregon or Washington or somewhere on the West Coast, even Arizona, New Mexico, that has like horrible, shitty policies and meth encampments, you're probably looking at this and going, "Oh my God, you can just do it?"
Executive order, and then the cops go now.
So I don't know. It's obviously it's a better thing if you live in California, but it pisses me off how it comes about and how long people had to suffer with like the consequences of having drug addicted street rats living on top of them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, don't get too down or too depressed about it.
I wouldn't.
We're moving on to uplifting gold. Our first clip is a blind on blind collision. And you think it might be fake or staged, but nope, that's real. Look at those guys' blown out shoes. You can't fake that.
That's a sign of a veteran blind guy
who's been walking like that for a long time.
Yeah.
Next is the Pizza Hut prank. This was really funny to me. Listen to all the way to the end.
Welcome to the Pizza Hut prank, where I tell people, hey, my name is Pizza Hut. It's pretty good, right? Do you want to be in it? Ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. My name is Pizza Hut.
Okay, I'm Mr. Pizza Hut.
Excuse me,
Hello,
ladies. Our name is Pizza Hut.
And I'm Mr. Pizza Hut.
And I'm Pizza Hut.
Y'all got to give me a number, man. Y'all got to call me.
At the end, he goes, y'all got to give me your number, man. Y'all got to call me.
I don't get it.
Like, he thought that was so fun. Y'all got to call me. Like, this was a great day. That's so funny to me.
Oh, man.
You don't think that's funny?
No.
Well, the bit's retarded.
It's retarded. And that's like some kid went out to the mall and did all day trying to get content, and then that's what his angle that he came up with.
But I think he was
Mr.
doing an on-purpose brain-dead bit, but the fact that the guy goes, oh, man, that was good. You got to call me. We got to hang out. Like, that is what's so funny to me. All right, let's go to the Asian retiree day.
This is living.
This is real.
Go to Europe, don't go to Asia. Hang out with your Asian friend's retired dad.
Yeah. Where else can you go? Golfing? Then go drink Hennessy at 5 p.m. while you're waiting for your entire extended family to arrive to have a fantastic Chinese dinner, and then go out hang out with your friend who built a tea house in his backyard next to a river and drink high mountain oolong tea direct from Taiwan.
For me, that's a vacation. For these guys, it's Thursday.
Wow, that's nice.
It's good stuff.
That's living.
You got to have hobbies. You got to have places to go.
And stuff to do.
Yeah.
And cultural things that are significant to you. Let's go to the Sea Monkey Watch. This is next level.
Okay.
The Sea Monkey Aquarium Watch isn't a permanent home for these little critters. I keep them in this larger tank, where I can feed them and they're able to swim around freely. I only transfer them into the rest aquarium on rare occasions, such as a first date or formal events like a wedding.
Imagine pulling that out on a first date.
Yeah, at a wedding. Let me check the time on my Sea Monkey Watch. Great.
That's uplifting.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's a hobby. That counts.
I'm forgetting about the migrant murders.
I'm forgetting about all the issues and the homeless people already.
The trans people beating up the girls.
Hey, the weekend's here, guys. What plans do you have? Sea Monkey Watch? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to Asian food place and then I'm gonna see a movie. I'm gonna go see the fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie this weekend.
I'm gonna go with you. Let's go to the worker robot.
Twist it again. Try to keep up. All right, what's going on here?
Nah, it's about to be jokes.
Delivery robot?
Yeah.
No.
Can't get through, huh? Homeless. Enough is enough.
I got you, Robo.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom.
I got you, Robo, bro.
But he helps him.
Robo, bro. Go ahead, Robo, bro. Make it too, Robo, bro. Now. Oh, shit. Hey, yo, Robo, bro, trying to make it through. The robot gotta go to work. Hey, the robot trying to go to work, sir. Nigga, move. Hey, the robot trying to go to work. You not let the robot do his job. Oh, put that up. Put that up. Hey, yeah, let the robot through. Go ahead, Robo, bro. Go ahead.
He eventually gets through.
Robo, he's got a job to do, man.
And then the guy's like on the robot's side. Like, get out of his way. All right, final clip of Uplifting Gold. Trump had the girl at the rally who put the graph up in Butler, Pennsylvania, which made him turn his head and saved his life. It was a very sweet moment, just like some person who works with them, and here it is. Isn't that nice?
She saved my life. No.
Saved his life.
Underrated move here when Trump does, when he sees somebody come up, gives her the mic assist.
And
brings the mic down for her.
But he said, "Do you want to talk?" And she goes, "No." And he's like, "Come on." And then she just says hi and walks off. Very nice, though.
Classic.
And she saved Trump's life.
She saved Trump's life.
That's important. All right, another Fleckus Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckisTalks.com for Bonus Land. If you want to go an extra 30 minutes with us, we got a lot of good clips in Bonus Land coming. Extra 30-minute episodes dropping right now. FleckisTalks.com is the website. Please sign up and join the community. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you in Bonus Land.
What is your message to Vance?
It's the message.